This is Season 3 of The Score, the Team Roping Journal's regular podcast, where the team roping world talks. We've told the stories of some of the greatest cowboys, horses, and moments in the sport, and we're so far from done. In 2020, we'll bring you more of what you've come to expect, like interviews with the best cowboys and cowgirls we know, and we'll dive even deeper into subjects you care about. Look for more audio editions of the Team Roping Journal stories you might have missed in print, and learn about the great horses shaping the sport and great challenges facing our industry. All this and more in 2020. I'm Chelsea Schaefer. Hey everybody, this is Chelsea and welcome to The Score. This is another special roping lesson that we are bringing to you during this time. I don't know about you, but I am riding a lot more colts than usual, finally having a little bit more time at home to ride them and work on them. So I tapped my friend Breelyn Cowan of T4 Quarter Horses to give us a lesson on reading a horse and reading colts. So the Cowan family, they're credited for bringing us greats like Sunfrost and his son PC Frenchman's heyday through their South Dakota horse program, T4 Quarter Horses. That program combines 50 years of breeding know-how with a solid ranch-based start. Just recently, Trevor Brazil came across a brown mare from their program who was registered as PC Ike Baby, that he felt that mare was too good not to go big time. He quickly sold her to Clint Summers for his heading campaign. Some of her first rodeos were the big winter rodeos, and the mare, now named Brown Sugar, carried Summers through RFD TV's The American and turned heads all winter until rodeo's recent shutdown. Now, the Cowan program offers weanlings and ready-to-ride ranch horses, and Breelyn Cowan has a hand in every step of the process with her dad Tigh's careful guidance. So today, she's going to join us on The Score, like I said, to offer a fresh perspective on reading a horse in the round pen, feeling and putting those early rides on colts, because she knows how to make one, set one up to be a great one down the road.
Hey guys, this is Breelyn Cowan with T4 Quarter Horses. I wanted to talk quick about developing feel within yourself and in your colts. I have two young brothers at home that are round penning my yearlings for me, which is great, and I'm really excited about that. But they are also developing a lot of feel with my dad sitting outside in a chair watching them and coaching them, so bless their hearts right now. But that's a really important skill to have. A lot of times you learn how to read a horse in the round pen. And the skills those horses learn in the round pen will go on to serve them well throughout their entire life. One of the things they work on is getting those colts to face. You really want them to engage their hind end when they turn around. And you really learn to read those horses' body language. Pay attention to where they put their feet, how they respond to you, the little tiny things that you do. One thing I think is kind of cool is that sometimes you get certain colts that you've really got to pay attention to every single part of your body, because they're just like a border collie dog. They're looking at you. They don't have, they want to listen, but they're not sure. So they pay attention to everything you do. One thing that we do when we're round pen them is, one, if they're wanting to be this way or that way, you don't look at them. You give them the opportunity to look at you, to study you, to breathe, to calm down, and to realize that, okay, they're not looking at them is putting pressure on them sometimes. So as far as developing feel, you learn to really position your body to give those colts the clear signal that you can. And sometimes you got to teach them what those signals are. I know that the pressure and the release is huge when you're working in the round pen with really any colts. You'll have some that are quick-footed and some that are a little bit slower-footed. The ones that are a little bit more spirited do really well if you really take your time with them in the round pen. What you're really working on is getting them to trust you, to get them to really be confident in the things that you're doing. And so some of the things that I work on specifically is being able to walk up to those colts at any point in their body and then have their head down, be relaxed, and I can pet them. And then if I take a step back or get out of their zone, they know to disengage their hips and move away from me. That's one thing that I teach all my colts. If I really cluck really loud if they get excited and I cluck, the first thing that hits their brain is to get their butt away from me. To where if I get in any kind of situation, those colts are scared, or if somebody else does, I can cluck across the round pen if somebody else is working with them and I'm a little bit concerned, and they know to get that butt away from me. That's a safety factor that I've tried to put into some of these colts that really seems to work well. And other things is you want them to be able to follow you, to engage with you, and that's a great place to develop feel. And that's, my dad is sits outside the round pen and coaches them kids, and then they'll go off on their own. And so just because somebody's sitting there and coaching you, they're giving you the tools, but you still have to develop that feel and work really hard. It takes tons and tons and tons of time. And we used to laugh. I would be trying for hours to get a colt to do something, and I couldn't get it done. We'd put it away. The next day my dad would get in there and he'd do it for 10 minutes. And that's strictly from having years and years of experience, and he has developed that feel, and he knows exactly how to get them colts to do it. It's really impressive and super cool to watch. So developing feel on the ground is super important, and then transferring that to the saddle is super important as well. One thing that I've really had to work on and realize is knowing where those colts' feet are. And in the early stages, I kind of learned to sit down in my seat, give them a second to realize what I'm doing. I wait for their feet to get right, and then I ask them to do the maneuver. I learned this on the fence when you're kind of getting those in the early stages to get them to maybe turn around. I'll kind of really sit down in my seat. You'll feel that, and that's what I mean is that I can say that to people, but you don't really understand until you've done it over and over and over. And I've been riding for I don't know however many years, and I'm still working on all this stuff. It takes tons of time and conscious effort to really get good at having really good feel. And so I'll ride those colts on the fence. I'll really sit down and you can you get to where you can feel it. And so I'll let them colts get their feet right. And then as soon as they do, then I'll ask them to really sit down and come back. And that's probably in a lot of maneuvers where in those first stages, I really like to help set them up, let them know where to put their feet. And then you gradually, if you do it right, they come quicker and quicker and quicker. That feel really establishes the basis of your communication between you and that horse. And really what you're doing is you're making the language easier and easier by really, really getting a good feel and setting those colts up for success. I would say the best way to really, really learn how to really feel your colts very well is get hooked up with a trainer that is super good at it and ride with them when you can. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Stay safe out there and happy training.
Thanks everybody for listening to Breelyn today. I loved having her ideas on the score because I know a lot of you guys are at home. Maybe you took the opportunity to buy a colt because you knew you were going to have more time. I've got some friends that did that, so that's exciting. If you like this, let us know. We'll do more with Breelyn because I think she's great to have, and she definitely has a different take on things at the beginning of the colt starting process. So Elise, can you say bye to everybody on the score?
Bye.
All right. Thank you everybody for listening. We'll talk at you next week.